Hi guys, my name is Vlad. I'm a real estate agent in Toronto, Ontario. Today we're covering 3 best lead sources for 2020. And I want to start with those of us that are impatient, including myself. We want to think of a lead source today, we want to start dealing with them by the evening, and by tomorrow we want to get our paycheck. In reality, the only lead source that gives you results that fast, or almost that fast, is if you're inclined to deal with tenants. You can start prospecting for them in the morning, you can start servicing them in the evening. You can reasonably expect to get your first paycheck within 2 to 3 weeks of you starting with this process. For the rest of the lead sources, you really need to have ample patience. So step back, relax, consider time frames, and give yourself a month or two to develop other lead sources that will give you substantially more per transaction money than tenants ever will. So let's jump to the first one. And the first lead source in this sequence is people that we know, people that already trust you, and people that are ready to do business with you. It is said that people do business with you if they know you and they trust you. And the best category of folks that already have that level of intimate understanding of who you are is your immediate family, your close relatives, your friends, and your colleagues in many cases. So those would be the first people for you to go after. You see, when you start dealing with them, it's like they're giving you a jetpack. So if building trust were a ladder that you're supposed to climb, then by starting with the people that you know, you're starting somewhere on the middle rung, and there is that much more distance that you already covered, and the distance to the destination is that much shorter. So start dealing with those people first. They will be the best source of your business regardless of the year, whether it's 2020, 2025, or you're looking at the business landscape from 2015 still. Your immediate circle of friends and your immediate family will be the best source of business for you. Also, when you refer somebody to you, those are the second best lead sources, because people want social validation, and them referring somebody else to you, their friends or their extended family, then in essence giving them the best service that they've experienced, and they expect validation from those people of the efforts that you're putting forward and getting the results for them, and they feeling better about themselves. Now, let's shift gears and move out of this protective bubble of people that you know and people that already know you and trust you, and move to other lead sources. All of a sudden, you'll notice that there's a sharp drop in the lead quality. They no longer know you. Certainly, there is absolutely zero trust. And what we want in this case, we want to substitute all of that for their extreme motivation to sell. And people that are extremely motivated to sell are for sale by owners and expireds. In both cases, they have either been on the market and they're still very actively looking to get that buyer in with an offer in their hand, or they just coming on the market, have come on the market, for that's the case for FSBOs, and they're very motivated to sell. It's just that they have a misguided belief that they will be able to do a job that is better than what can a real estate agent, a professional real estate agent, give them. So those would be your second most important leads or lead sources for 2020. You are there to ease their pain. They have a problem. They want to get rid of their house. They want to get that money. They want to move into a smaller place. They're in the process or in the middle of a divorce. They have health issues. They have financial considerations, or simply it's a job transfer. Whatever their considerations are, they want to move out of the current property, get the cash, and be in the position to buy something else, or simply they might be looking to rent. They're motivated to move. A lot of agents, when they deal with those lead sources, are resorting to what's called an outrageous claim tactic. In other words, they'll come in and they say, hey, we'll sell your home for you in the next 30 days, or we'll buy it off of you if it's not sold. In reality, they should have rephrased that. The claim is that if nobody wants to buy your home after we'll list it over the next 30 days, we'll be able to get it off your hands at a 90% market value. So they will buy it from you, but at a discount. And even if they do keep their promise in the end, even if your house doesn't sell, they will make an offer from themselves. This is not the best situation for you, because you're being shortchanged on the sale price. So stick to your skills when you're dealing with them. Don't make promises that you're not intending to keep, or promises that are misleading, because ultimately anything that's not good for a consumer is not going to create the long-lasting and positive reputation for you. Skills, and go after those leads for sale by owners and expireds that are very important in any professional real estate business. Now let's switch from the face-to-face prospecting, whether that's with your circle of friends and your relatives, or for sale by owners and expireds. And let's try and talk to a larger audience by engaging them through social media. Social media is a great platform that will supplement your traditional prospecting methods. And the first thing you need to realize when you're dealing with social media, and let's say you're working with Facebook, which is a great choice for that sort of thing, is that you will need to build out what's called a sales funnel. A sales funnel is a client journey broken down into specific and discrete steps that you will populate with the specific conversations that you're going to have with that group. So a sales funnel that I like to follow, and it's typical in many regards, but it has a very catchy acronym attached to that offered by Perry Marshall, is called UPSYD, UPSYD. In this case, U stands for unaware, P stands for problem aware, S solution aware, Y you're solution aware, and then the next step would be a deal. That's when they're ready to commit to a transaction. So depending on the stage your clients are in within the sales funnel, you will have a very different conversation with them. If somebody is aware of the problem that they're retiring in 5 years and they will need to start thinking about selling their home within that time frame, you will have a different conversation with them from somebody who's already evaluating 4 or 5 options for real estate agents that they want to hire. In other words, they're aware of your solution, they're looking at 3 or 4 other solutions alongside yours, and they're just trying to decide which agent to go with or which team to go with. Now, if you are working in between the states of your solution aware to a deal, possibly a deal in this case is not going to be a money in your pocket necessarily, but it could be just a registration on your landing page. They're ready to start engaging with you. And that's what most people or most agents falter. You see, social media is a long-term game. You can't expect, just as I was saying in the beginning, to have an idea of I want to use social media in the morning and start getting the leads and start reaping the benefits by the evening of the same day. No, it takes months, if not years, to develop a following. And once you have that, you have a certain level of trust with them. You had those conversations with people in different stages. That's when they're going to start transitioning from your solution aware to a deal. And that transition, as I said, would be in many cases just a registration on your website. And that's when you need to start following up with them. The only really sales funnel that you can rely on at this point is your CRM, your messaging with them, and most importantly, your phone conversations. So that's the engagement. You give them something. And if their buying window from the time of the registration to the actual conclusion or rather commencement of the transaction is 3 months and they're still looking at some alternatives, you need to be at the forefront of those conversations. You need to give them the most valuable information. You need to connect with them and build that additional level of trust for them to make the step and start working with you. So there you go. 3 best lead sources for 2020. And as always, the number 1 is your sphere of influence. It's the circle of people that you, that love you, that trust you. Second one is people that are super motivated for sell by owners and expireds. And a third one, and it's a very important supplementation to your traditional marketing and prospecting efforts, social media marketing. That'll give you results over time. And what they will allow you to do, it is often said in real estate that prospecting will solve all problems with revenue. Prospecting in conjunction with social media marketing will not only be able to solve all of your revenue problems, but will also allow you to go after your dreams. So guys, thank you for sticking around. If you like the content, hit the like button, consider subscribing, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any new releases. I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week.